Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to Inner Peace, Better Health. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are diving into the extraordinary world of quantum healing, aligning your energy for personal transformation. Joining me is the inspiring Nicolette Nierras, founder of Nic Nierras Holistic Lifestyle, rapid transformational therapy practitioner, and host of the You Are Worthless podcast. Nick's story is one of profound courage and transformation, from a high powered career as a chartered accountant to becoming a guiding light for individuals seeking balance and fulfillment. Today, she's here to help us explore how energy alignment and holistic practices can unlock our true potential. So, grab your journal, open your mind, and get ready for a deep, thought provoking conversation. So, you are so welcome to our show, Nick.
Wow, wow, wow. Eric, right? Thank you so much
Yes,
for having
yes.
me. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to have this conversation as well with you and to share some tips that I have and just go with the flow of this conversation. So again, thank you so much for giving me the space.
Yeah. So, Nick, your journey is such a unique blend of science, transformation, spirituality, as as I also read out in the introduction. So, how did you first discover quantum healing, and what drew you to it? Oh, before that, I want you to tell me, what is quantum healing?
Right. Quantum healing is where you actually align your mind, your heart, and your soul to your purpose. So quantum means energy, right? When back in high school, I was a science stream student. So in Malaysia, that's how we were. You either take commerce or you take the science stream. So I was in science stream, and physics was the least of my favorite subject. And
Yeah.
Eric, uh, right now, fast forward 17 years after I left high school, actually physics is in every waking moment of our lives. And quantum physics,
Those-
quantum healing, it means everything is energy, right? So
Yeah.
if because all disease, sickness is actually a misalignment of the energy blocks in all of those
Yes.
points.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I'm sure you've known, and listeners too, if they don't know, we all have these chakras. We have hundreds of chakras, but we have the seven main ones, right? Root all the way up to the crown. So it's about aligning those and your mind and your heart to for you to actually go push forward in life. So we can dive deeper into how that will help you unblock limiting
Yeah.
beliefs that you have and
Mm.
also live a more holistic lifestyle.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. So, yeah, I'm I'm just so fascinated by how you hated physics. That's right.
Yes.
You hated
No, I
physics
never
and now
understood it. I never understood
yeah.
physics because I mean, why would you want to know the speed of light? Why would you want to know okay, fine, it's common sense, gravity, Newton's law, right? But
Yeah,
then
yeah, yeah.
as you it's actually the very thing that we're standing right now is because of gravity. If not, we're gonna be floating, right? The transducers in my microphone, that's what makes it possible for us to be talking. And the
Yeah.
Wi-Fi,
Mm,
that's quantum. We can't see it, it's intangible, but it's connected and
yeah,
it's
yeah,
connecting us. So if you just look closely, everything is actually physics.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. So, was there any specific moment or experience that made you realize the transformative power of energy alignment?
Okay. Thank you for asking that. I actually I think the pivotal moment for me that I need to stop and
Yeah.
really think about where I'm putting my energy towards is when I actually hit my divorce in 2019.
Mm,
So I was putting so much of my effort trying to control, okay, control. quote unquote, my ex-partner then, because I was so afraid that he would actually be going out and not and paying no mind. Excuse me, it's actually raining heavily on where I am. So hopefully you're not catching all of this, but yes, I will take the mic closer to me. And at the time, I was so worried that he would be I would say I manifested the scenario where he would go out and meet another person. So not this is not me trying to, you know, paint a bad picture of him because we've moved on. We had an amicable separation, and
Mm.
it's almost like I manifested that into reality. He wasn't doing it, but I was so convinced of myself that he did it. So it was me putting that into realization. So that's number one. That number one thing that, oh, whatever I put my attention to, the energy goes to that. And
Yeah.
number two was the fact that I shifted. Now, after my the loss of that relationship, I shifted everything of my focus towards my career. Now
Mm.
I was in a good job, you know, was soaring, but I had hit rock bottom in terms of my personal relationship. So, and I didn't do the proper healing. I
Mm.
didn't process the emotion. Now, what is emotion? Emotion that came with the divorce. Of course, any divorce is, you don't get married to get divorced, right?
Yeah, definitely.
You tried to save it, which every I assume every other person that's gone through this would have tried to
Mhm.
save their relationship, be it they're committed or not. Um,
Mhm.
but and then it's the I wasn't processing. I did not process the emotion. And now, what is emotion? It's energy in motion. So I was just suppressing it, suppressing those emotions, the grief, the loss. I, you know, when you love a person so much, it's like I put myself into that person. I lost my sense of self. So yeah, and I didn't process that. I didn't turn inwards. I was just pouring outside. It's like at a leakage of my life force. So
Yeah.
and then I turned that towards my job, and the job was, it was good in the beginning. And
Mhm.
2020, in 2018, I was sorry, 2018, 2019, and then 2020 hit. It was COVID. I think it was a reset button for the whole world. And
Mm.
excuse me, I was not exempted from that. So it's
Yeah.
like whatever, everything that I've built based on a false belief that I had to do things because I had to. I didn't understand why.
Mm.
It was that. And it's now it's a it's me crumbling everything just
Mhm.
to rebuild my sense of self again. And that and it actually takes a lot of, how do I say, intention and effort into doing that. Now I needed, to the point I had to go through the breaking point for me was
Yeah.
when I had to take sabbatical leave for 2 months because my
Yeah.
head was already pounding. It was at a job. I remember very vividly. Um, the last job I had was the last project I had was very. It was very demanding. I wasn't sleeping, and coupled with the I had to live by myself already. I did not process the divorce, and COVID made the isolation even more depressing. I said, what is happening? You know, that's when I started to break down. And when I break
Mm.
down, it was like I was crying every night. I was crying
Oh.
every night. I was, I, it's like I asked myself, if I had to reduce everything right now into one thing, what is it? It's
Mm.
actually at this subatomic level, you know, subatomic level. We're just, to be honest, the experiences that I've experienced and I've learned, I went into um anything, quantum physics, yes, astronomy, astrology, if I could reduce that, I reduce it now, and I concluded that we are just light beings and we're just here placed on earth, which we have actually agreed to these experiences. Because you know why I'm saying this, Arick? I've
Yeah.
always resonated myself. If every time growing up, every time I watch movies that ended up with that person with the somebody who will be left by their partner, but then
Yeah.
at the end of the day will find their, you know, their person. I've always imagined that was me. It's like
Mm.
almost like remembering what I've signed up for before I come to this earth in this body, in this meat suit.
Yeah.
And what does that tell you? That tells you that there's actually a connection. It's
Yeah.
actually the energy is you. It's almost like you sign a contract before you come to earth, but then the terms and condition is that you have to forget everything about yourself. And I'm
Correct.
talking about in terms of energy as well. So tying it back to energy, what are we? We're just light beings, and what are light energy?
Um, you know, it's really interesting to me because what you mentioned, that you were so focused, so laser focused on a negative problem. I mean,
Yeah.
problems are negative, but on a problem, you were so laser focused that it actually happened. It actually manifested. You know,
Oh.
I last month I learned about I don't know if you're familiar with it, but I learned about the observer's effect.
Mm.
And yeah, it's a concept in quantum physics. And yeah, I mean, it's like it's the tendency of individuals to alter their behavior when they know that they are being observed. So it's like if
Mm.
you're so focused on a situation, that situation, you're just changing it by observing it.
Mm.
So I don't know, I don't want to go deeper into this
Oh
because
no,
it's
I'm
very
interested.
interesting.
Can you share with me your thoughts on that? Like, what did you gather from that?
Yeah, I mean, like, on a more superficial level, I believe it's all about awareness. Where's your awareness? So it's like, are you aware of the problem, or are you aware of how you will be solving that problem?
Mm.
Or if I can reframe that, I can say, are you are you someone who is just giving out the problems, or are you someone who is just making the solution for that problem?
Yeah.
So so it's like the observer's effect is that when you are not observing anything, the atoms are scattered. However,
Yes.
when you start observing it, the atoms gather together, and that's where the manifestation comes.
Exactly. You nailed it to the head. Yes. Again, like I mentioned, right? Wherever attention goes, energy flows. So it's like when you look at something, it's there. But in reality, Arick, is it really there? Because our
Yeah,
attention is not there. So
yeah,
so again, if you have this limiting beliefs about you cannot do it, I'm never going to
mm,
find the love of my life, I'm never going to be rich. The energy that you're putting out, the frequency that you're putting out, it's that because
yeah,
you attract what you are. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. You said you want $1 million, but you don't feel worthy of that $1 million. Then my question, are you really going to get that $1 million? No, because the universe is always responding to what your energy is, the frequency you're vibrating or emitting outside. So
yeah.
yeah.
That's awesome because yeah, it's really amazing. And honestly, half of the world has not understood it, how it works, but somehow it just works all the time.
It
It's
works
just
all the time. Trust
yeah,
me. I mean, don't you? I mean, I remember I've asked this every time a big team come on to this show and they have me on this interview. I asked them, don't you think that whatever that you have right now, whatever that you're doing right now, is actually what you've envisioned before and you've
yeah,
prayed for it?
yeah, definitely. You know, my mentor says it this way. Okay, So I'm coming to another topic, but it's really interesting and it's really relatable, related to this or this topic. But
Mhm.
but my mentor says it this way: whatever your words create your world. So even even at the core level of everything, atoms can hear your voice because because they are so. I don't mean to get in the biological side of the atoms, but I think they are living. If they can hear us, they are.
They are not you think they are living. I mean that I don't know if I'm pronouncing the name, the doctor, the one doctor in Japan. He
Mhm.
made a study on water. When you speak good gracious words toward
Yeah,
water, the
yeah,
water flourishes. And if you
yeah,
insult the water, and the water turns murky. So,
yeah,
and if you do that to your body, and what are we made of? Water, 70% of it water. So imagine if you're saying, oh, I'm stupid, I'm ugly. Your cells and your
yeah,
every living cells is living. You just mentioned it. We
yeah,
are believing that.
yeah.
So
So if you believe it, you are that.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly.
as simple as it gets. So yeah, I mean, like, it's really amazing how it works, and I don't know how it works, but it just works because that's how he says. He says that whatever you have spoken over your life, you are living the product of it. You are the product of it. That's why it is encouraged. It is encouraged that you speak good over your family, your children, because you know, um, in India, parents often frown upon their children. Like they often look down on their children, but they don't realize whatever they are speaking, their children are becoming that. So yeah, so it's like you have to, even if you are seeing otherwise, you have to say otherwise, if that makes sense.
Oh
Yeah,
my God, it makes sense because I can totally relate because I'm from Malaysia, so I'm Asian too, and
exactly.
upbringing makes sense. I think all everybody is right now, at least
Yeah,
millennials are experiencing it. Um,
yeah,
firsthand because our parents come from the generations of the boomers and the X, or they come from Great Depression, right? And they tend to have a structure where, okay, I need stability. I'm just talking in context of, for example, in career, the most
yeah,
obvious example, right? Asian, you got to be a doctor, you got to be an engineer, you got to be a this, you got to be that, right? Because this supposedly will ensure that you have stability in the next, until you grow old, retirement. But the world is changing so fast for us. There's not just one avenue to make money, and
yeah,
that is one setback that I experienced in my life too. But luckily, I've had good parents where I've I've worked on myself to make sure that
yeah,
am I am actually um I walk the talk of wherever that I want to go. I walk the talk.
yeah.
I make sure that I don't go astray. I maintain their trust on me. And then when I wanted to shift my career as well to being an entrepreneur, I told them
Mm,
that, hey, um, have I ever disappointed you before? Yeah, I've made mistakes for sure, like
yeah,
mistakes in my life, and nobody's
yeah,
can ever escape that. But I said, I step into my truth. Well, I told them that I feel like this is what I want to do,
yeah,
and that comes into why I want to become an entrepreneur. I want to help people to get through the same things that I have gone through and more and beyond. And it took me a while I don't want to say condition, but to
yeah,
reframe their mindset that, okay, I've done my chartered accountancy, I've secured something, but I want to do something else with my life because I know life doesn't stop at 30 or 35 or 40. I mean,
mm,
granted that I have good health, I would want to be exploring different interests in my life because when God puts something in you, there must
Yeah.
be some, if your mind can conjure it, there must be something
Yeah.
within the reality that actually is supporting you to be able to get, you just need to take the steps to go to that, to manifest that reality. And what are those? Those are quantum physics. You know, you talk about 3D, 4D, 5D, the realities, right? We
Mm.
actually, we have all these countless realities that we have in our head. Like I've always imagined myself to become a pilot, a cardiologist. I've always imagined that, oh, because I had that innate thing within me, but in this lifetime, maybe or
Yeah.
maybe I could get it. But then if I'm focused, if I put my energy to become entrepreneur, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But in other realities, I think I've already been living my reality as a pilot. So
Mm.
you see, it's like if God can put you to it, He will put you through it now. And I'm saying context is not just in the religious context. You know, God is universe, God is source, God is divine power. And
Yeah.
if you're, you know, um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, wow. This has been such a lovely conversation. I really don't want to end it.
well,
Yeah.
well, I am enjoying this very much. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Yeah. But I really want to thank you for such an awesome conversation. You're literally bouncing back every thought. And I just I literally just texted Sana. I really don't want to end the show. She's so good. But yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and energy with us today. And yeah, to all our listeners, remember your journey is uniquely yours and the answers you seek are closer than you think. If you love this episode, share with a friend, subscribe to Inner Peace Better Health, and leave us a review. Your journey inspires ours, and we are here to grow with you. Until next time, this is Eric, reminding you to live with intention, embrace your worth, and align with your highest self. Take care and keep shining.